Well, welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Chris and Deepom here, and we're back with Arrow Season 6, Episode 15, Doppelgänger. Roy Harper returns to Star City, and Oliver and Thea take action to save him when they discover the reason why he's come back. So I'm going to start with this. I think that when it comes to, and we've talked about this several times this season, because I think it goes into our praise for Legend of Tomorrow. The shorter, I think Arrow and Flash need shorter seasons. Because I'm sitting here and I'm watching.
Well, we do that every week. Well, that's not going to happen. So let's.
Well, I mean, I'm saying. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is, like, we're doing Diaz, and I'm like, oh, well, you actually do seem like a more interesting villain now than Caden James was.
Which I'm, you know, as I've thought about this episode and the way it's placed, I'm okay with it because, as opposed to having the one central villain you're chasing, they've got enough balls in the air where now that they've stepped up Diaz, he seems like a credible threat on the level of Anatoly and Laurel.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like in a bottle, I don't have a problem with this episode. It's just like, oh, I'm like, that's the villain I was looking for. Like, it's.
But it makes sense that they would parse that out. If we had that the whole time, then what would they do here? You know what I'm saying? We feel like they were treading water now. So for us to parse out the development of Diaz, while you and I were kind of left wondering what the hell's going on earlier, they addressed it. So for me, this episode was kind of a redress and a dealing with something that you and I have been kind of struggling with. But it turns out that it was structured this way so they would have more meat to bite into at this point in the season.
Oh, absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I even think that the way it's placed, like, you know what? This is not me complaining like about the musical episode last year with the Flash when I was like, yo, that's just oddly placed and doesn't make sense. Like, I get why they placed it here. It's just one of those things that you put a lot of stuff before this that you kind of got rid of because now it feels like
I think they got rid of it as a way to lampshade what they were actually doing, and I think if we wanted one shorter story, that would be more cohesive. But for what they've done, as I step back and look at this season, I'm a lot more forgiving of having the questions early because they did address them.
True. Like, I mean, you know, going down to, hey, this being the, you know, of course the police department's crooked again. And
Star City.
Well, and here's the thing, because I mean, I know somebody brought this up about the Flash review we did, and they were like, they were ready for us to rip it apart because of the inconsistencies with his powers, and we were completely opposite. And was like, well, yeah, because that's the comics. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's the Flash.
That's the Flash. So when it comes to Green Arrow and the SCPD being crooked, I'm like, well, they kind of have to be, right? In order to have a vigilante running around like the Green Arrow and a team of vigilantes, you kind of need to have a crooked police department, or at least an inept one that can't get shit together.
Right.
You know, and so it does feel like a rehash of something we've done before, but I do think that the threat is bigger and it's more. Oliver even said it's like, this is way worse than anything we've done before. Like, I don't know how many bad cops are in and how far up this goes. We know as the audience members, we know it goes up pretty fucking far, but Oliver and them don't know, and this is technically way more corrupt than a handful of cops like they've done in other seasons. You know, this is, you have somebody in the DA's office, you have the chief of police, you have police officers there. Like, it is, I mean, the SWAT team, like, you got a pretty corrupt system right here, and it serves as a way, because I didn't hate Dinah this episode.
Yeah, they're and it's kind of weird because you and I were both like, "Fuck this other team, they're unredeemable," right. and with the span of one really well done episode, I think they kind of brought Dinah back closer to center, and I think you're gonna do that with Curtis too. I'm really glad I don't have to pretend to like Renee again.
Fuck Renee.
Fuck
Renee. Like,
don't you feel bad that he got kicked in the chest? Absolutely not. I'm only mad he wasn't kicked harder. Right. Fuck that. Fuck Renee.
Like, his daughter shows up. Like, the only time we see Curtis' episode when he shows up at Renee's house to talk to his daughter, and I was like, oh, he does have a daughter, but fuck him still. I don't care. Like, fuck him.
Yo, his daughter called him Sea Dog. Even Curtis was like, man, fuck this little girl.
Yeah.
Got that nickname stuck. That's called sarcasm, little girl.
But no. I'm with you on this one. Like I think that having it gives when Oliver brought Dinah and Quentin together. It's like, listen, I know we have our issues. I know what's going on. I know you guys have your issues right now, but you guys both love the badge. Let's. It's the same thing that we were talking about. The only way that they could bring that team back in is to have them connect on things that they mutually care about. And here it's like you love the badge. You both love the badge. You both love the city. You don't have to like each other. You don't like me. We have to work together on this one. And
with Curtis can be the tech, and with Renee, it's you really enjoy being a snitch, and we're not wired that way. So
go home and be a father. Go home and be a family man, yo. That's
not even that. Don't let us see you again.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's out of the town. He's out of town.
Leave the city. Your Star City pass is revoked. Move. Start over.
Technically, he's not in the city anymore because they had to move him out of the city anyway.
Just send his daughter with a bag and a box lunch.
Right.
Let's go. Go see Daddy.
You're not even gonna give her some Lunchables, yo.
Yo.
Like, at least give the kids
a bus ticket.
At least give the kids some Lunchables, yo.
Lunchables and a bus ticket. Get out of here, kid.
Oh man. Oh, and here's the thing. I did love the fact that. So when Oliver decides that we're gonna do this, we're gonna go and save Roy, and Dinah's like, well, okay, just this one time. Oliver's like, oh, hold up a minute, hold up, no, see, still don't trust you.
We ain't you.
Yeah,
you know that,
right. I still don't trust you. You don't trust me. I'd rather go in I'd rather go into the field a man down. Ooh, it cut deep, yo. It was good. It cut me deep. I was just like, she deserved that. She thought this is one of those. Oh, you thought I was talking about you. Oh no! We ain't rolling with you. You stay. You go do some paperwork or something like that. We don't need you in the field. You don't want to be here? Nah, don't need it. So, love that aspect of it, and it was great. I've said this before. I've missed Speedy in the suit. I know why she can't be in the suit often. I do definitely think that this is between this and the next episode. I believe these are like giving us our. They might be our farewell because I can see her taking Oliver's advice and going off with Roy. And that's a great way to say goodbye to Roy again and to write Willa off the show, at least temporarily, or even to say goodbye permanently. I'm fine with it. I love what they've done with her character. It's to me, Speedy, Thea Queen, is what Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. did with Chloe Bennett and Skye / Daisy Johnson. Like, when you first meet both of these characters, you're like, fuck them. Don't really care too much about them. I would even say that, starting off, Skye at least had some, you knew she had a larger purpose. Thea, on the other hand, was just somebody nobody really liked.
Thea was a character created for the show.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a sister in the comics, so she does now, but it's the whole thing. Anyway. Yeah, Thea Queen was invented for the show. And I know people who are like, not necessarily Arrow diehards, I'm not entirely sure that Green Arrow diehards exist, but they're like, oh, this is non-canonical. This is like obviously the Melrose placing of Green Arrow, which was what the show was originally going to be.
Right.
And they're able to take this, to be frank, annoying first season character, supporting character, whose subplots were basically like, Thea buys drugs, Ollie gets mad. Thea buys drugs, Ollie gets mad.
Right.
He owns a nightclub, Ollie gets mad. Thea fucks a DJ, Ollie. Like, it was very strange. But they redeemed her and made her, like you and I have said, probably the best developed character. And if they write her off, good for her. Thea's earned a fucking break.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, she's been through a lot. Like, and it was good to see. It was good. Like, I've liked her ever since that first season. Can I even say like halfway through the first season? Because I would say halfway through the first season, the problem with her in first season was we were also getting flashback Thea. So we were seeing the annoying side of her, but we also got Thea kind of growing up that halfway through that first season, and then definitely in the second season. Since then, I've liked every iteration of her. And then when they put her in the suit and she became a badass, like, I'm watching this episode going, wait, she's still carrying the sword? She's still carrying the sword.
Goddamn right she is.
She's a goddamn ninja. I fucking love this girl, yo.
Oh, the sword. I forgot about the sword.
I'm just like, wait, Because at first I was like, wait, is that the bow or is that the sword?
Yeah,
it's got to be the sword.
What is that in her quiver? Oh, that's the sword.
Yeah, she still got the sword. She pulled it out in the fight. I was like, thank God, yes. Like, oh, fucking love her, man. Like, how can you not love?
If there's nothing right off Willa Holland, they've done a really good job with these last 2 episodes.
Yeah, no, well, she's grown so much, she's matured so much, and if it means her going out and us seeing her go out in the suit one last time. And being the bad, because I like how Oliver was like, "Yeah, you're not really field ready. You're just out of a coma." I like how they brought that up. It's like, you're in a coma like a couple weeks ago. Maybe you should take it. She's like, she's like riding a bike. He's like, nah, actually, it's not. And then you see her, you're like, actually, it kind of was like a riding a bike with her. So I think she's okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go with it. It was good seeing Roy back too. I am a little disappointed we didn't get Roy flips. I understand that he has some internal bleeding.
Well, I think he's still here, so
yeah,
there could be a 2-parter leading up to some epic Roy flips.
I need at least one Roy flip, like when he's walking out off into the sunset with Willa, they both need to do a Roy flip just to say goodbye. Like I need to say goodbye to Roy Harper properly. I need to say goodbye to Thea Queen properly, and I need to say goodbye to the Roy Harper unnecessary flips. Like I need. All three of those need to be a good write-off because I need to say goodbye to them properly. And but no, it was good seeing them again. I mean, like Thea said, this episode to me felt like them preparing for us to see these characters go off together, which I think is the proper ending for them. Thea says she went through so much when Roy left. And I think that's right. I mean, she got really dark for a while there. It was all after Roy left, so it would be right to see them both go off together. Like shit, when she shows up and comes out of the vent, and the first thing out of Roy's mouth is basically like, "Is that my hood? Are you wearing my costume?"
Kind of, yeah. I mean, look, you want to get saved or not?
Right. And then Thea Kissing was like, "I'm sorry if you're seeing somebody." He's like it was one of those. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, I enjoyed it because I like those two characters together.
I really like the inversion of like the Man on Fire, like Taken theme.
Yeah,
like her being Liam Neeson. Like there's that queen temper. I'm breaking fingers and shit. Like she was Liam Neeson's. Like I don't know who you are, but I have a particular set of skills. I'm getting back Roy Harper.
Right, I have a particular set of skills and a fucking sword.
And a sword.
Saying got a fucking sword here. I'm serious. Like, you see somebody show up in a sword, like yeah, you're not gonna really fuck with them. So the one thing I didn't get in this episode, and maybe you caught it. How did the SWAT team know that they were there and show up like that?
Dude, you're just as good as mine. I assume there were some sensors on the vent, like when she opened it, that had to set something off.
Because that's the one thing that was the one that I was like, wait, how did they know they were there? Like that doesn't make any sense. She sees a.
The SWAT team just runs drills every 27 minutes. They rush the room.
Right.
Be safe.
that makes sense. Well, the reason why I asked that is because then it would explain maybe there's another mole or maybe there's something else. Maybe Diaz has to.
I think that's one of those. It needed to happen because otherwise they just leave with Roy right now.
Right, exactly, and I'm fine with that. So also want to talk about so the one thing I'm not really feeling right now is this, and it sucks because I actually like what Katie Cassie's doing with Laurel Lance, and I like the idea of her coming back and pretending to be the new Laurel, the old Laurel Lance, and saying, "Oh no, I was kidnapped for 2 years." Like, and people doing the thing that they should have done the Flash that first time it came up was like, I mean, I'm just saying we have a guy who runs as fast as speed of sound. It's possible that she did this. Like, I don't know what's possible anymore. Like, so I like the fact that they addressed that there. The one thing I'm not liking what they're doing with her right now is this back and forth. Is she or is she not really evil? Because it's like it's almost like they're overplaying it. If I can say that, it's like
they're flipping too much. It's too many swerves. It's I see exactly what you're saying. It's like Vince Russo wrote this, and for all my wrestling fans who are listening, all four of you, You're welcome. Yeah, it's she's evil, she's good. I need to pretend to be the real Laurel. I was tricking you again, motherfucker. Like, it's come on, like
right.
So you've written yourself into a place that no matter what she does next, it's in character. Which on the one hand, as a viewer, is kind of like not exhilarating because it's not. It's kind of like I don't know what's gonna happen next. But as a viewer, it's also like I can't trust your show.
Right. It's just I want them to like pick where you want to go. Or hide a bit. Like you know what it made me feel better? If they didn't send the text message at the end of this episode. Like to me the text message ruined it. Because it's like, well, now I know not to trust her.
Just give me a knowing look.
Right. You know, to make me go, is she or is it? Was this all the plan? Like, because it just seems like outside of to me, it was done a pretty well done episode. That just felt like it felt cheap. Like it wasn't necessary at that time.
Because it's very B movie.
Right, exactly. It's just
like it's like some music, bum 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 should have played. Like it felt it got real Scooby Doo at the very end.
Well, because it also then ties into the thing with Diaz, which is okay, fine. You're setting up Diaz to be this guy who has a long con view of things and he wants to take over the city, down to the point that Laurel's afraid of him and Atoli is. Okay, fine. You're now I'm still trying to wrap my head around the hot idea that this guy is this criminal mastermind. But okay, let's say you got me going there. You're bringing Laurel in here, and we're going back and forth, and I'm like, oh, okay. And you see her kind of cozying up to Diaz anyway. Throwing that text message at the end just kind of cheapens both of what they did with both of those characters. So not just with Laurel, they cheapen kind of what they did with Diaz as well. And I'm just like, guys, come on, like a little restraint. That's all I was asking for that one. Just a little restraint.
I'm actually okay with the Diaz stuff. I think that him. Okay, so for those who haven't picked up, Ricardo Diaz is a play on Richard Dragon from the DC Comics.
Yeah.
This is the first time I was like, okay, I can see the Dragon part because he's fighting and he's testing his teammates and he's trying to, like, I don't know. Richard Dragon should be a scary martial artist, and I never felt that until this episode.
No,
I don't know if Kirk
absolutely
Acevedo
right.
can do that.
It was definitely in the background. Like they definitely
like, oh, that's a silhouette.
They definitely, because at first I was like, Is that supposed to be Diaz? That's supposed to be Diaz. That is not Acevedo right there. That is not him.
No, it wasn't. It was not. That's a fact.
But it's, like you were saying, like, and I like what I'm with you. Like to me, you made him not just a character who can maybe outthink Oliver in terms of planning and seeing the bigger picture. But also, okay, now you've set him up to be also have some kind of, being able to physically go toe to toe with Oliver. Okay, I'm fine with that. I was just saying that text message at the end kind of almost it didn't for me, but it cheapened what they did with the characters because it's just like, guys, we get it. Like you don't have to beat ourselves over the head with this. We get what you did with this. You did more character development for. I think what they did for him in this episode is, like, I can't remember what episode it was, but the episode they made it so we understood why Caden James was the way he was. Like, that's what this episode was for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm okay now. I can see it, and you know what? Oliver's gonna have a problem because, he has the entire when Diaz says listen, some of those cops are on my payroll, some of them aren't. You don't know which ones, but they all gonna follow that anti-vigilante law, so what you gonna do, buddy? What you gonna do? So
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah. So I think that they could have left it there. It's one of those things that I think sometimes these shows they get ahead of themselves, and this is not something that just error. I think we talked about this on our Star Trek Discovery review. Like there was we think that they should have ended the last episode on a certain piece, and they decided to keep going forward. And you're like, I mean, okay, didn't ruin the episode for me, but you should have stopped while you were ahead. You kind of got greedy and went too far, and that's where it felt like that for me. But yeah, overall, man, I enjoyed this episode. Like I was prepared to hate it, and I didn't. I feel like this week Arrow and Flash both brought their A games.
100%. I really enjoyed. a lot of the development in this episode, and while I'm a little uneasy about the constant flipping of Laurel Lance, I think that her doing this is a public way, as was pointed out twice in the episode through exposition, puts the Arrow team in a very, very actionable position where they can't really, their hands are tied in regards to Laurel Lance.
Oh, it was brilliant. Like I see, that's one of the things what they did with her. Like the flipping part I didn't like, but that part of it I loved it, and I loved again. Like I think Katie Cassidy has done a really great job as Black Siren, and being able to have her flip back to being regular Laurel Lance and then do that, and like that has been work. That works perfectly. Like I enjoy seeing that, and I think that works. And that whole like that scene where it's them, her, Thea, and Quentin in the interrogation room, and she drops the axe and she starts talking to them like Black Siren. I'm like, you know what? I like that. Like that. I like that entire aspect. Like you said, them going too heavy handed with the flipping back and forth piece. This is the other thing too. The reason why I don't like it, I think it's selling the character short because she's already has us. Like they already have us wondering, can she be trusted? You don't. That's one of those ones you don't need to tell
us. No, she can't.
Right. Like we know she can't. But like in this episode, you're kind of getting that. Well, every time I feel like I can't, and like you want the audience to feel that. But if you constantly show us that, like that text message, then we're not going to.
It immediately undermine any sort of warm fuzzy that Ollie's speech would have given the reader.
Exactly. So that's my only problem. Everything else they've done with her, though, love it. It's been great.
It's perfect, 100%.
One more thing I completely forgot. I love the fact that Diggle brought up 2 times this episode about being back in the suit. Like,
hey man, where it was supposed to be my time,
right?
It's Diggle hour. What are you doing?
Hey man. So can I put the suit back on? Can I? Supposed to? You know, I'm good now. I'm back. You had Cisco create me a new suit. But I kind of wanted the green one. Like, so what's going on? I'm interested. Have they announced season 7? I know it's on the IMDb.
I don't believe so, but I'm sure it's coming.
Right. So I'm interested in what they do here, because I don't think with them possibly writing Thea and Roy back out to give them the exit, and I know that they're not going to not have Oliver be the Green Arrow. But at the same time, I kind of do want to see Diggle back in the suit for a little bit. I kind of do want to see Diggle do something. It was look, I liked it. I want to see it.
No, why? No. Wasting everybody's damn time.
So I don't know, but I will say this: I do think they need I'm really interested in seeing how they fix that. How they get Oliver and Diggle to come to an understanding on what's going on here, because
no, they're gonna have to have a conversation, but it's gonna end with you're gonna keep wearing the Magneto light helmet. Like that's how the conversation. Spoiler,
Black Neato.
Spoiler. Hey, Black Neato, keep it going. You're doing great work.
I'm actually okay with if they call him Black Neato.
I would go back and say I'm not, but
I kind of want Black Neato. Yeah. So I mean, they could also just give him a power ring, but that's never going to happen.
Look. What about this thing? I was like, if you just want to tell me that, I don't know, the name Diggle is short for is also known as John Stewart. Let's do that.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you give him a power ring, then you won't need a suit no more. Diggle. So
and you've got a whole other show.
Yeah, and we got a whole other show. So I'm just saying, give him a power ring. DC. I know you're not going to do it because fuck.
Because you hate us.
By the way, saw Wrinkle in Time again, and it just made me more angry that Christopher Pine is not Hal Jordan. Because I'm like,
I'm telling you, niggas, Hal Jordan. Like,
okay. I was just like, oh man, put the white streaks in his hair. That's fucking Hal.
Fuck the white streaks. You can do New 52 Hal. You can do post rebirth Hal.
You could, yeah, you could.
He's year 1 Hal.
I don't know how.
Half drunk pilot.
How do we fix this? I don't know how. I need them to fix this. Like, I'm watching this shit and I'm going, fuck. I remember the first time you brought this up, like a year. I think when they cast him for Steve Trevor.
It was longer because I maybe not to you, but the first time I said it, I watched that new Star Trek. J.J. Abrams. I go, so is Kirk just Hal Jordan?
Well, here's the thing.
Like, he's a cocky asshole who loses every fight he gets into, but he doesn't let that damage his confidence at all. And he's drunk.
Right.
Like, that's Hal. That's pre-ring Hal.
So when there was talks about them looking for him for a role, people thought it was Hal, because it's like, yo, that's fucking work.
Yeah, he plays Hal Jordan in everything he does.
Yeah, he's fucking Hal Jordan. And they were like, we're gonna make him Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman. We're like, oh, you are like. So let me get this straight. Marvel has two of the other Chris's. And Chris, actually, three of the other Chris's.
Yeah,
they have
three of the other Chris's.
They have three of the other Chris's. You get the last.
You're like, he'll be a supporting character.
You have the last remaining Chris, and you go, we're gonna make him Steve Trevor, and on top of that, we're gonna kill him in the fucking movie. Holy shit! If that doesn't sum up,
bold move, Cotton. Bold move.
If that doesn't sum up the dumbass ideas that the DCEU has come up with, I don't know what. That's it. The other, they have three of the four. You have the last remaining Chris. Like, you got to protect that motherfucker. You got to surround him with
we're gonna kill him in 2 hours.
We're gonna use him in the dumbest way, and then we're gonna kill him. So that now Marvel's like, what can we put Christopher Pine in?
Yeah, right. It's like, so Chris, what's up? How you been? You good? Good. Yeah. No, we saw your DC contract was only one movie, and that one's over. So how are you doing?
Could he be Adam Warlock?
Now he can.
Oh, fuck. They're going to get all four Chris's. They're going to get all four Chris's.
Like, Feige is tinting his fingers right now, like Mr. Burns is saying, excellent.
They're going to get all four Chris's. This is fucking ridiculous. Oh, my God. Fuck. Fucking layup, man. Like, I'm serious. I was looking, you know what it was? Until you brought it up again, I had forgotten. And then, so I'm watching the movie, and I'm seeing it, every time I'm seeing it, I'm like, fuck. That's Hal Jordan right there. Yep. Fuck. Oh, man. Anyway. But, yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with the Green Lantern movie, so, you can fix Diggle's position on Arrow by giving her a power ring, so let's do it. I mean, and I think that, a couple things with this. One, people have been wanting, and I think at one point the plan was to make him Jon Stewart. And two, I think they need to do this because they need to prove that you can have two things happening at the same time when it comes to the TV shows and the movies. Like, make him, put a Green Lantern in the fucking TV show. That's fine. You can still do a Green Lantern movie, guys. You can have both.
That's a great way to write. Like, you can have him off the show for a while and then have him show up for big events.
Exactly. You know,
figure they won't. Now I know they definitely won't do it.
They're not going to do it. Like we know this. Yeah, they're not going to do it. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm saying that because I feel like whatever they end up doing, because they kind of, and this is why I was like, I kind of want to see Diggle in the suit. Not because I want Diggle to be in the suit. I like Oliver in the suit, but I feel like whatever they do to kind of resolve this, I'm not gonna like. Because it's going to down.
They're going to have a conversation where Diggle's like, the conversation's going to end with Ollie like, you really should know your place.
Right. And it's going to.
And as uncomfortable as it is, he's also right.
Well, it's that, but it's also because of the way they set it up to begin with anyway. So it's like.
But you never thought he was actually getting the suit.
No. You're absolutely right. And I think they did it, but it's just like, you talked it up for a while, and then the way you kind of just you're kind of quietly, like, I like the fact that they actually bring it up with Diggle going, "Hey."
It's not been quiet. It's very like no.
So
give me the hood back. You could. Well, I mean, think about it this way: the second he's in the hood, Diggle lied to get in the hood.
True.
Like, why would you be like, "Oh, okay, now I believe you again"? Like,
true. Like I said,
especially a control freak like Ollie. The first place was a big deal, and then the guy lied to you about it. No, this is fine.
Yeah,
It's like, you know what it is? It's the first time you get. Here you go. I have a new car. letting my wife drive my new car is a challenge for me. Letting a friend drive my new car isn't going to happen for a while. And this is not a new car. This is the car Ollie built as his own and took to the city. He's revamped his car. He's rebuilt it from the ground up. And he gave that car to Diggle, and Diggle damn near wrecked it early. And now he's like, look, maybe I'll drive. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to drive. It's fine.
I'm just going to drive for a little bit. I'm just going to drive to the store. For a little bit.
Let me just make sure. You know what? Aren't you more comfortable in the passenger seat? You know what? You work the radio. You work the radio. That way it's like a 50-50 split, right? Okay.
Like I said, that conversation is going to be really, really interesting. I'm personally am looking forward to it, and I'm also not looking forward to it for Nicholas.
Right.
Because the man was so fucking sad every time he brought it up, yo. It was just like, it's like, but that's my. I'm like, no, it's not. No. You
thought.
You definitely thought, but no. Oh man. So, yeah, folks, that is it for Arrow. Yeah, like I said, I think it was a good week for CW shows. So.
CW came out swinging this week, and I for one appreciate it.
I appreciate it because they still lost, but I appreciate it.
Well, that's not our fault though. They shouldn't have shows this week.
They really shouldn't have had shows this week.
You shouldn't have put shows out this week. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. So, anyway, folks, thank you guys very much for listening, and we will be back next week. So, thank you guys. Peace.